what's up guys, it is Blackout3x3 here, back with another video on the Berserk Gaming channel. Today we're going to be talking about supply drops and all the wonderful weapons that are incoming onto supply drops. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, well how could that be? Wait, no, Sledgehammer said... I mean, come on guys, we all know that's some bullshit. But either way, I was going through Reddit on Call of Duty World War II Reddit. Pretty typical stuff, pretty everyday stuff, kind of looking at it and just seeing if there's anything that sticks out that I want to make a video on. And I came across a link to a bunch of pictures of guns that are apparently in the files of Call of Duty World War II. Now, for YouTube purposes, I cannot post these files because my video will be immediately removed, as it was for a couple other people from what I've heard. It's hugely censored. Sledgehammer wants this on the down low, but as I'm not a Call of Duty cocksucker, I'll bring it up. So fuck it, why not? So I am going to show you guys pictures of these weapons, but they are not going to be the official release of the Call of Duty pictures. It's going to be all real life pictures or other pictures that anybody could find on Google. That kind of stuff. So, right here I'm going to post the list of weapons that are encoded into the game, and so you guys can just take a little bit of a look at them before we get into this too far. Alright, so here's your list of weapons. Arasaka, Beretta, Breda, Enfield No. 2 pistol, the Gewehr 43, P38, Type 5, trench knife, and Sten. Now you can see loot pictures, possible loot, with loot, no full gun, just loot. So this is going to be meaning only supply drops. These weren't guns that were removed later. This is all stuff that is coded to go with the supply drops. So like I said, I can't show you the actual imager pictures of these that they downloaded from the files, or Call of Duty will strike my video immediately and it will be removed. So instead, I'm going to show you the real guns and just talk about them a little bit, see how, I could assume they would compare. So the first gun we're going to have is the Arasaka. So the Arasaka is a Japanese rifle. It is a bolt-action rifle, very similar to, the Lee Enfield that's in the game right now, stuff like that. Now this has been in previous World War II era games, so it would not be surprising for it to come back. However, with it being a Japanese rifle, it really doesn't fit with this game. Because although, yes, the Japanese were in World War II, I completely understand that. Obviously, Call of Duty doesn't, because they're not even introducing any Japanese maps. All it is the United States versus the Germans. No British, none of that. So some of these weapons that are coming in, yes, they are viable for the time, but for who is fighting, they make no sense at all. But your next weapon that is coming up is going to be the Beretta. And I specifically had to look this up and actually look at the image to make sure I was getting the right Beretta, because Beretta makes a lot of guns. However, it's an SMG. It's going to have a stick magazine similar to, a Thompson, similar to a lot of those guns that we have. Not extremely overpowered. It's pretty much the same as all the other SMGs. Not insane fire rate, pretty regular. Seems like this one is going to be cool to have, obviously. I mean, all these are going to be cool to have. However, I don't like the fact that they're coming in supply drops, and I don't think they're going to impact the game that much, quite frankly. The next weapon is going to be the Breda 30. That is going to be the next weapon coming in. It is an LMG, looks very similar to an FG42, fires very similar from what I know. Now, I do know quite a bit about weapons and real-life weapons. It's kind of like a passion. However, this one kind of fell through the cracks for me. It's actually known as one of the more forgotten World War II LMGs. So, this coming in, we really don't know what to expect. It's never been in a game, very forgotten gun. But if nothing, I'm going to try and take this in a positive light. It could be really cool. So we'll have to wait and see for that. The next weapon we're looking at is the Enfield No. 2 pistol. So this one, I could very well be wrong on what kind of pistol's coming into the game. Enfield made a lot of pistols, and I would say a good 95 to 99% of their common pistols were revolvers, so I picked one of their more common revolvers to give you guys some sort of an idea. But it would really make sense if they put a revolver in this game because we are yet to have a revolver, with it being one of the most common pistol types in the world, especially back then when it was, you know, a little less popular to have semi-automatic to fully automatic weapons. It was just a little less advanced. A revolver's really simple, so that could really be cool coming in because we don't have one yet. That could be overpowered as well. We don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Now this one, guys, got to me. The WWII 43. Really, this gun should have been in the game since day one. The WWII 43 is commonly known as Germany's M1 Garand. It is very similar to the M1 Garand in fire rate, the type of round it fires. However, it does have a magazine similar to the M1 carbine, but it has 10 rounds typically, is what it was made for. So what pisses me off that this gun isn't in the game from the start is that we're all about fighting the Germans in this. Well, this was the most common German infantry rifle. This is the gun that, you know, saw a lot of action that for some reason isn't involved in this list of the guns that we got. We did get the M1 Garand and the M1 Carbine, so I'm very happy about that. However, this should have been in the game since the beginning. It's not going to be that huge of a difference. Like I said, I'm assuming it's going to be next to identical to the M1 Garand. Up next, you have the P38. Now, this little Peashooter, because it honestly is a Peashooter, seems like it's going to be one of the more disappointing guns to come in with these supply drops. You know, pistols, already getting a pistol out of a supply drop is kind of whatever, but the P38 is just kind of a Peashooter. Not a huge round, just, it seems like it's going to be kind of a shitty gun, but nevertheless, it's still exciting to get content that was cut from the game and sold to you as DLC and supply drops. So, I mean, what could go wrong? The next weapon is going to be the Type 5. This was the equivalent to the M1 Garand by the Japanese. Now, again, I don't see this weapon making a huge impact. Very similar. I mean, a lot of the guns in this time used in war were very, very similar guns. So, really nothing to write home about, except for the fact that, again, we're not fighting the Japanese ever. They just completely ignored that fact, and now they're going to add in Japanese and all of those weapons. The next weapon is the trench knife, and my god, this would be cool as hell to get. Because brass knuckles combined with a knife, I've always wanted one. I've never been able to pick one up. They're always so damn expensive when you find real World War II ones. But it's not going to make much of a difference. It's kind of similar to what you... Okay, wait a second. That fucking wall bang was nice. Okay, but back to it. It's kind of similar to when they added the melee weapons in Black Ops 3. Not going to add range or anything. Shouldn't add lunge. It should just be something kind of for shits and giggles. And, you know, that one I don't have a huge problem with. I think it should have been in the game from the beginning. But, hey, I mean, what do we expect? It's Activision, right? And last but not least, guys, the Sten. This gun, I don't know how the fuck it didn't make it into this game. One of the more popular rifles in World War II. It's a British rifle, very similar to what you'd say Type 100. Has the side stick magazine just like the Type. You know, again, I get that we weren't fighting the British and, you know, they're not even in the game. Again, that's another flaw that I'm talking about. Japanese aren't there, British aren't there. I mean, all it is the Germans and the Americans. So I guess I can understand why it didn't come in. However, very, very common rifle, or common SMG, my bad. It should be in the game. So when it comes in supply drops, let's just all pray to Gaben and fucking Michael Condrey and hope that we get this weapon, because I feel like it's going to be a ton of fun to use. Now, none of these weapons that I've seen, at least, should be entirely overpowered. There should be very similar to the weapons that we have. Is it bullshit that they're coming in supply drops? Yes. I fucking hate supply drops more than anybody. Right now in the game, how they are, I actually like them. 100% cosmetic. You know, you can get extra XP. That's cool. I really do like that. But, I mean, that just opens the door to them adding later guns and supply drops and pay to win things, which you know is going to happen every single time. So, you know, I'm not excited for these guns to come in because it's just a bullshit system. However, I did want to get the information out to you guys because it is interesting, and, you know, Sledgehammer's trying to hide it, so why the fuck not expose it, right? So, guys, pay attention to the channel. We have a bunch of World War II content coming very soon. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, have a nice day, guys.